This is the SIG Sauer P320 X5 Legion. Say that 3 times fast. Built on the ever-popular P320 platform, this particular gun is the race car version of the pistol, which has recently been adopted as the official sidearm of the US military. So, is it any good? And what makes the Legion different from the basic run-of-the-mill P320? Well, my friends, stick around and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Today we are going to take a closer look at the SIG P320 X5 Legion. Now, I've been shooting this little pistol for just over a year, and it has quickly become one of my all-time favorite guns. The engineers at SIG have placed a whole lot of innovation into a high-quality piece of hardware. It's accurate, it's fun, it's easy to shoot, which means we have a lot to unpackage. So let's get started. So what is the P320 X5 Legion? Fundamentally, it is a single-action only striker-fired pistol chambered in 9mm, and according to SIG, this is a straight-from-the-factory, out-of-the-box competition pistol which is ready to hit the range with little to no need for modifications. Now, naturally, pretty much any competition shooter out there is going to apply some form of customization, but I've been shooting it in the stock configuration, and the gun very easily outperforms my marginal skill set. It is a full-sized gun, which makes no attempt to be lightweight, compact, or easily concealable. Everyday carry is not the game here. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Everything about this gun is big, overstated, and overbuilt. Apparently, SIG figured out a way to dabble in a little bit of black magic when it comes to the material sciences. The frame is comprised of a tungsten alloy and polymer fusion. Now, I'm no chemist, but I honestly had no idea that you could melt metal and plastic together in a witch's cauldron and have them come out as some kind of demon metal, patent pending. In any regard, the result is a nice heavy frame, which somehow magically combines all the benefits of polymer and steel into one. On the flip side, the slide is designed to be very lightweight in comparison to the grip module. This is of course meant to reduce recoil. Along the top, we see a series of lightning cuts. These are here to reduce weight. They are not, in fact, ports designed to vent gases and counteract recoil. But if they were, holy smokes, the gases they could vent. There's enough missing metal up there to send a ported barrel into a full-blown nosedive. But I digress. As is popular with SIG these days, the company has added the letter X along with the word Legion to signify that they will be requiring you to spend a lot more money for this product. As for the number 5, this remains somewhat a mystery. The pistol is chambered in 9mm, and it certainly holds more than 5 rounds. The only rational explanation would pertain to the barrel length, which comes in at 4.8 inches. So for now, we'll just have to use our imaginations and round up, because the SIG Sauer P320 X 4.8 Legion just doesn't really have the same ring to it. So just how good is this pistol? Well, it's certainly good enough for the likes of SIG shooters Lena Michalik and Daniel Horner to smash a multitude of national 3-gun championships. And like much of the hardware that appears on the show, this top-notch pistol will easily outperform your average, everyday, mediocre shooter, such as yours truly. SIG has long been known for their quality and innovation, and the P320 X5 Legion delivers both of these elements in spades. So, how does it shoot? I would say better than average. This thing chews through ammo and spits fire like a monster. The engineers at SIG have designed it to be very flat and get back on target right away. But for me, that's not even the best part. I just like the way that it works. And works and works and works and never fails. The full-size P320 is a big gun. This means it has a nice roomy interior for all the parts and pieces to slide past one another and never get jammed up. 9mm cartridges come up from the grip module, slide along the feed ramp into the barrel, combust with the strike of the firing pin, and are decisively flung free from the ejection port with room to spare. The bullet flies down range, and who even cares if it's not on target, because the whole thing just feels so good in your hands. It's a controlled explosion, sandwiched neatly between your palms, pacified into a gentle snap by the demon metal. By my count, this is a really great gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot, and it certainly is very reliable. It really has everything you could want in a modern pistol. We have nice aggressive slide cuts in the front and back. The springs have just the right amount of juice to be soft, but still keep the thing running just as fast as you can pull the trigger. All the parts have nice tight tolerances, and it is exceptionally well made, which is exactly what you would come to expect from SIG. And so, if you are trying to determine if this pistol is right for you, here are a few things you might want to know. Let's start with price. At the time of this recording, the Legion comes in right around $1,000. While this might sound like a lot of money for a pistol, it is actually a screaming deal compared to most modern competition handguns. Once you get past the venerable CZ Shadow 2, the sky is the limit when it comes to the 2011 systems, also known as the double stack 1911, many of which cost more than the average person's car. Now, if Lena Michelet can blow every $7,000 Atlas competitor out of the water with a SIG P320, it's safe to say that this gun is good enough for us mere mortals. The trigger is good. It's not sensational, but it's good. There's no squishy wobble to be found. The reset is crisp, and the flat face is very comfortable and easy to acquire with your finger when the gun is shredding through rounds at high speed.
All right, I'm gonna say easily one of my all-time favorite features on this pistol is the oversized magwell. It's really well designed. I mean, you can hit this thing every single time without looking, so if you're a competition shooter, if you're just getting started and you need a little extra help, maybe kind of getting the fundamentals down, that magwell really allows you to place those shots easily. Next round just goes in so smooth. And it definitely has a very positive eject. So anytime that you're kind of hitting your mag release, you've got a nice easy slide out that comes right off. And then again, the well is just this huge funnel that is somehow large and sleek all at the same time. It just gives you the ability to slide those mags in nice and quick. And you're back off to the races. So definitely one of my favorite features of all time. If you have the ability to add one of these to your regular SIG P320, I think I recommend doing it, especially if it's just a range gun like this one is. There you go.
Under the hood, the swoopy curvature flows perfectly into the frame, allowing the gun to swallow up fresh magazines with generous room for error. All of the seams line up like a slippery ice cave that is perfectly melted into one piece. You don't get the gaudy bolt-on feel like we see with so many aftermarket funnels. This means that even in my clumsy cantankerous hands, reloads are relatively intuitive. They don't require you to break focus, look down, and pull your concentration away from the range, even though I tend to do that anyway.
All right, in all fairness, I tend to have a bit of a soft spot for SIG. I think they are a really cool company. They take a lot of pride in their work, and I can certainly appreciate that. At the same time, no gun is perfect, so where does this one fall short?
If I absolutely have to find a drawback, I would say that this is not a fighting gun. The X5 Legion is definitely meant to run free and clean on the open range, surrounded by targets. With all the metal which has been removed from the slide to reduce weight, there are simply far too many ports of entry where dirt and debris can be ingested into the weapon if you are out in austere conditions. Drag this pistol through the mud just one time, and she'll swallow enough rocks to choke a wild boar. That said, I don't think she's the ideal choice for your next wilderness excursion. Like most guns on the competition circuit, she likes to be clean and pampered. On the other hand, if you're talking home defense, I would say that this pistol is an ideal candidate for protecting the family. If not for the SIG pistol chambered in 45 ACP that currently serves as my watchdog in the house, I would gladly choose the X5 Legion as my go-to home defense gun. Besides, if things get really bad and you run out of bullets, you can always fall back on the Demon Metal to use as a miniature battle hammer.
All right, friends, one thing I want to talk about, SIG has unfortunately been in the news a little bit recently because there have been reports of the P320 having a negligent discharge problem when it is dropped onto the ground. Now, SIG vehemently denies that this is the case, that this is a problem. However, there are just a lot of people out there sort of on the internet who have done these tests and have actually discovered with rather irrefutable scientific data that these things do actually occasionally go off when dropped onto the ground. I personally have never had that problem with any of my SIG pistols. These things always function perfectly every single time. I've never had a negligent discharge. Granted, I've never dropped my gun. I have no intention of ever dropping this, nor do I ever have any intention of doing a drop test. Those are only to be conducted by the utmost professionals in a highly secure environment. So if you're thinking about trying to drop your gun on the internet, don't do that. That's very, very stupid. That is only for professionals. Just go to the range, have fun. Don't try to engineer any data against SIG. There's plenty of stuff already out there, and if you have any concerns that your pistol may not be safe, take it to your local shop, take it to your local gunsmith, or just don't shoot it. There are a lot of ways that you can run your guns and be perfectly safe every single time, i.e., don't drop them on the ground. I know that accidents can happen, and there's certainly no avoiding them. They just happen out of the blue, but at the same time, it's definitely all the more reason to practice all of the vigilant safety tips that you can ever think of when you're out on the range. So try to pass that along to your friends. Always be safe. Keep your weapon pointed down range. Always assume that it's loaded when you're around other people, and put it in a holster when you're not using it. Also, just don't drop the damn thing. That simple.
In conclusion, I would say that the P320 X5 Legion hits all the hallmarks of an all-around outstanding firearm. Now, if you could only own one gun for the rest of your life, would this be the one? I would say no, probably not, because she's a little too specialized for competition. The gun is too big for concealed carry, and all of the features which make her flat, fast, and efficient might also significantly work against her in a dirty zombie apocalypse situation. So if you were looking for something to get out on the range and really hone those skills, this pistol will not disappoint. The design features make for an incredibly soft and comfortable shooting experience. When she's well taken care of, she runs like a dream. And at the end of the day, the X5 is typically not the most expensive gun out on the range. And thankfully, it doesn't have to be, because as it turns out, you don't need to spend a fortune to ring those steel plates with a little extra style.
All right, friends, as always, thank you so much for joining us. I certainly hope that you found our little SIG Sauer adventure to be informative. Now, if you have any X5 Legion stories of your own, please be sure to drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We have a lot of cool new stuff coming up, and I don't want you to miss out. That's going to do it for now. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sharp, and stay on target.